Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Duty Complete. Today we are going to look at Thok ast Thok from a healer's perspective. As always, Duty Complete is not necessarily a guide on the duty itself, but rather a look at the duty with regards to the scholar. So to get started, you'll notice right away that Ravana has a rather nasty frontal cone. I realize some tanks might be new to the duty, so they may not know to face Ravana away from the center of the room. With that said, just make sure you never stand in front of Ravana or next to any of the tanks. Next, let's take a look at our Dragoon, Ileana, and notice that she uses Battle Litany. This ability increases your critical hit chance by 15%. What this means for a Scholar in a party with a Dragoon is that you should attempt to get an Ad Loquium critical heal applied to the tank. Basically just note that while under the effects of Battle Litany, you'll end up doing more healing than usual. The first half of the fight is primarily just healing the main tank and switching on Clerk Stance to help DPS. There isn't much here to say besides that you should remember the Scholar DPS rotation, although since this is a trial and not open world content, I would consider not using Energy Drain unless I needed MP. You could also apply a Sacred Soil onto the main tank, but it's not really needed and you should be able to keep the main tank healthy between you and the other healer. Next, Ravana will cast Prelude To Slaughter, and you'll notice here in the video that I actually stand too close to Ravana and take a little bit of damage, and you notice that the other party runs away from Ravana and I don't personally, and I really should have done that. So if you see yourself in that position, follow where the party is going and you'll be a lot better off than I was in this video. Now, Prelude To Slaughter, what happens with that is that there will be the AoE that you just saw, which is around him. It's going to be a melee ranged AoE, and then after that he will cast a bunch of line AoEs, and then a inverted circle, as I call it, where you'll run to the middle and avoid the lava that's on the ground. Then after that he'll go directly into Slaughter, and what happens with Slaughter is there'll be a cross pattern or X pattern of line AoEs across the room, and then he'll apply Slaughter, a AoE, circle AoE that's kind of purple in color here on this video, to random party members, and you want to not stack up on each other for that and dodge the line AoEs as well. Using Indomitability or Sucker will help you out here, just casting that and then immediately trying to dodge that, or as you saw, I cast Sucker directly after I'm in a good position to where I can just not worry about the AoEs that are coming, and cast Sucker to help heal through if anybody gets trapped in the AoEs or anything like that. The next thing that happens is that Spirit Ghana or these blue butterflies will spawn into the arena with us, and the only thing that we can really do here is using Clerk Stance and Fey Wind and then keeping the tanks healthy. And we just want to make sure that these butterflies die before too many swords can spawn. After all of the ads are then defeated, Ravana will begin casting Bloody Fuller, and this applies fetters to the entire party, and then however many swords are in the arena with you is how many times that a Ravana will attack you, and then leading into a final AoE. Coming out of this, I usually like to apply Indomitability or a Sucker, just something to keep everyone, or get everyone topped off in health. So shortly after Bloody Fuller is Pillars of Heaven, and this one is just similar to the ones from Ifrit and also Ultima, but keep in mind that you need to run somewhere where there is the planks on the outside of the arena, otherwise you can actually fall to your death just like in Titan. So the main points here are just the amount of AoEs that Ravana does, using Sucker or Indomitability to keep your party healthy. And also you'll see tethers to these blue balls, and basically you just want to drag those into Ravana. So if you get one of those, then just drag them into Ravana. Now, after a while, he'll come off of his defense stances, what he was been in for the whole first part of Phase 2. He'll come out of that and go back into his the first stance that he was in at the beginning of the fight. And at that point, you haven't seen anything new, and he won't introduce any new mechanics until he's dead. So one last thing I'd like to mention, and I kind of lied just a little bit, there's actually one other mechanic that I'd like to talk about, and that's the swords that appear above people's heads. And you'll see that there'll be 1 sword, 2 swords, 3 swords, and 4 swords respectively for who Ravana's going to attack first and then last. If you can get off like an Adloquium or a Stone Skin with a Swift Cast or something like that, that will help a lot with damage mitigation, and knowing that he's going to attack certain people in an order. You can throw up whatever kind of debuffs or buffs, I mean, that you want to help to mitigate the damage that you know that's going to be there. The other thing I'd like to mention here is that when those come up, if you get one of them, do not stand next to the other people. Try to spread out a little bit, as I've heard, and I haven't seen it myself, and I don't really feel like testing it, but it actually increases the damage if you are closer to somewhere else as well. Well, that's it for Ravana Hard Mode, and this has been Duty Complete Episode 3. Episode 4 will be coming out shortly, and it's actually one of my favorite fights, so I'm really excited to be sharing that with you guys, and you just have to look forward to that one. I might actually release that one, if I can get it done, by the end of the weekend, but if not, it'll be next weekend at a rate of once per week. So as always, until next time.